Okay, so it's 11:30 a.m. So on behalf of Director Turner, good morning, and thank you for joining us today for Doing Business with Port Houston. I'm Jessica Vasquez, the Program Coordinator of the Houston Minority Business Development Agency. As a reminder, this webinar is being taped and you'll be available on the Houston MBDA YouTube channel. A copy of the presentation will be emailed to all attendees. So after the presentation, we'll open it up for Q&A. So please type your questions in the chat. I'll take a moment to present the Houston MBDA team on today's call, and we have Ms. Deidre Sutton, our MBDA Business Advisor. So with that, I would like to present Ms. Brenda Ruiz. She's the Supplier Diversity Manager for Port Houston. So please take it away, Brenda.
Thank you, Jessica. Good morning, everyone. My name is Brenda Ruiz. I am the Supplier Diversity Manager here at Port Houston, and I am part of the Business Equity Division. And we are very excited to have you join us today. Next slide, please. Okay. So Port Houston, I think everybody's pretty familiar with who we are, but in case you're not, we are known as Port of Houston Authority, Port of Houston, Port Houston. And basically what we do is we are the advocate and the strategic leader for the Houston Ship Channel. So it is a federal waterway, and the government designated Port Houston to take care of it and manage it and keep it dredged. And we own and operate public wharves and terminals along the Houston Ship Channel, which includes 2 container terminals. Next slide, please. Our mission at Port Houston is to move the world and drive regional prosperity. Our vision is to be America's distribution hub for the next generation. And our values are respect, excellence, accountability, diligence, and you. Next slide, please. So at Port Houston, we have 2 programs. We have the Small Business Program that has been in place since 2002. It has an organizational goal of 35%, and it is a gender and race neutral program. And then in July 2021, we started our MWBE program. That's our Minority Women Business Enterprise Program, and it has an aspirational goal of 30%. One of our biggest initiatives is to reduce barriers to MWBEs and WBEs who want to engage with Port Houston. We recognize the importance of having diversity in our contracts, and that's what we work on constantly. And you have a whole team here at Business Equity to support you in your goals. We have seen growth year over year in our program, and we will continue to work towards our participation and aspirational goals. Next slide, please. Port Houston enrollment process. The first step is to get certified. We are not a certifying agency, but we do accept and recognize the certifications from our certifying partners. We have about 10. We accept City of Houston, HMSCC, Metro, SBA. If you want to see the full list, you can find it on our website. So if you are certified as a S, M, or W, you've already done the hard part. You just need to enroll in our program. So you go to our third-party system, which can be found on our website called B2G Now, and you will complete an online application, and then your application will automatically be submitted for review to get enrolled into our programs. And the third step is to sign up on BuySpeed. If you are not certified, we encourage you to still go ahead and set up your profile on BuySpeed. BuySpeed is our e-procurement system. Once you set up your profile, you will start getting notifications. You'll be able to see what bids are out there, when pre-proposal meetings are happening, and get all those good nuggets on the procurement side. Next slide, please. I wanted to talk to you about our Opportunity U program. This is our technical assistance program that we have designed here at the port to assist our SMWBE vendors to help them get their business to the next level and really learn how to navigate the procurement way here at Port Houston. There are a lot of benefits. We'll give, again, it's 10 sessions, and it's it covers everything from how to access the procurement website, how to submit a proposal, what our procurement team is looking for. There's an open panel discussion with our PCM group. We have some primes come out and, you know, share some of the nuggets they have related to safety and other topics. Next slide, please. Our next cohort will begin on March 21st, and that is coming up quickly. So we invite you to participate. We still have some openings. This will be cohort number 5. We've had 4, and we've graduated about 116 SMWBEs. And if you have any questions, you can reach out to myself or Keandra Eaton. And our phone number is there. And you'll also have our contact number at the end of the presentation. And this program is really designed to help you navigate Port Houston and to understand how to do business with Port Houston. Next slide, please. Like I mentioned, it will begin March 21st. It is a 10-week commitment. We meet once a week on Thursdays. We'll meet at the Small Business Development Center from 1:30 to 4:30. Again, it's once a week for 10 weeks. And it's really, really focused on, you know, it includes foundations of business, how to navigate public contracts, what the bidding process is, how to have access to capital. We'll talk about bonding requirements, and we'll have some great mentors also in the space. Next slide, please. We wanted to share just real quickly 2 success stories that we've had. You know, Trescope is a minority women-owned IT consulting firm. They were part of our last cohort number 4, and they recently awarded approximately a $4 million award, and they are leading as a prime, participating in our next gen ERP project that's coming up. We are extremely proud of them. Again, they just graduated from our last cohort, and we're happy to see them succeeding. Next slide, please. We also have City and C Group, who has done a lot of work with Port Houston in the recent years. Started off as a sub, and you know, they've also primed. We really stand behind our small businesses, and we want to support them and help them grow and really get them to that next level. So again, we encourage you to apply for our Opportunity U program. If you can reach out to me, give me a phone call, send me an email. We'll be more than happy to see if, you know, Opportunity U is something that you can participate in. Next slide, please. So here, this next cohort, we are going to be focusing it on construction services. And the reason is because there's a lot of opportunities that we see for our SMWBEs. So we've listed some of our most used descriptions for what kind of vendors we're looking for. Site preparation contractors, earthwork, demolition. There's always heavy and civil engineering construction. We list street and highway and bridge construction because it is very it's not general construction like residential. It is very commercial. But if your business and your does any of this work, we're always looking for concrete work. We encourage you to reach out to us, and you know, if anything, if you're interested in Opportunity U, apply. And if you want to just chat with us and see what it is, how your business fits with Port Houston and how we can help you grow and succeed. Next slide, please. And I will hand it over to Pedro. Thank you.
Thanks, Brenda. Good morning, everyone. I know today's workshop will be focused on construction or businesses that feed into the construction industry, but this kind of gives you a sample of what other opportunities we have at Port Houston. Under our informal procurements, which are typically goods that the Port Authority procures that are budgeted under $100,000. So anywhere from safety equipment and supplies, ladders. Our maintenance department procures ladders, tools, filters, plumbing supplies, uniforms. We also procure promotional items, tires, office supplies, pressure washing as needed across our terminals, auto parts. We also seek coffee vendors that provide coffee services and overflow printing. Now, on the other side are formal procurements, and these are typically services that the Port Authority procures that are budgeted over $100,000. So construction, which Harvey is going to review with you, but also landscaping services, cleaning services. Our maintenance procures LED lighting for our transit sheds, IT services, environmental, civil engineering and design work, and facilities inspections. So that kind of gives you an idea of keep in mind, it's not all inclusive. There are other opportunities that weren't mentioned on this slide. As far as outreach activities, Port Houston is partnering up with Metro and the local SBA office in a bankers fair. And this is where it's a access to capital forum. And we're bringing together, so far we have about 30 traditional and non-traditional lenders that provide SBA guaranteed loans. So this is, and the whole intent of this fair is to bring together those lenders and local small minority and women-owned businesses to learn about lending products and services. So this event is scheduled for Wednesday, March 27th. Starts at 9, ends at 12 at the Power Center on South Post Oak Drive. So for more information, feel free to reach out to us. But also SBA on the right side of the slide, they provide a surety bond guarantee program. There's a flyer that outlines information on that. And there's a website down at the bottom, and it's intended to help you offset some of the costs involved in securing bonding. And now I'm going to turn it over to Harvey Ross, who's the project manager with our project and construction management department. Harvey?
Good morning, everyone. We have several lists of projects. Some are going into design phases, other maybe construction, some may already be out in the street, but this forum is just to give you a brief overview of the type of projects that we do here at the port. Next slide. These are projects in our design phase. This is a pre-engineered metal building canopy at one of our terminals. So the scope of this project is to expand the canopy and the drive lanes so that we can increase the capacity at the TWIC inspection. Next slide. Here is the one of our docks. We're doing a freestanding fender for this particular dock as one of our older facilities. So we do civil, marine, some commercial type construction, underground utilities, earthworks. So we do a variety of different types of construction. Next slide. Here's a view under one of our older facilities. You can see the damages to the structure of the wharves. So we do have routine inspection that we go underneath, inspect the wharf, and then we put out a project to do spot repairs. And these are just some of the types of repairs that we do. Next slide. Like I said, we do have projects up and coming in construction. This is the new Port Coordination Center building. It's approximately 30,000 square feet to be constructed. We're at the point now, we're still finalizing the design package, putting everything together to put on the street. Hopefully, we have it listed as first quarter, so I'm hoping that we will get it out within the next couple of weeks to be advertised. So just be on the lookout for this particular project. Next. Next slide. Here is one of our Barbers Cut container yards. We're doing a major project. This is actually slated to go on the street also within the next few weeks. That is the areas where we unload ships as actually store containers. We're still trying to keep everything on track for a second quarter award. Hopefully that happens, but this is coming down. It's a long-term project phased, pretty much a 4-year project. Next project. I'm sorry, next slide, please. At our Bayport facilities, the container yard that you just viewed, we have 2 major container facilities, Bayport and Barbers Cut. Bayport, we are running out of space over there, so we're constantly expanding our yard capacity. So this project will include about a 40-acre container yard, new construction. Next slide. This is one of our real estate assets out at the Bayport terminal. It's a empty site now, has some field store stockpile on it. Pretty much this project is to go in, kind of clear and grub the particular area and prepare it for tenant development. Next slide. This is our memorial track. This project is also a clearing and grubbing project for pre-development. Next slide. This is one of our maintenance type projects at the Bayport facilities. We have trench drains that usually handle the storm drainage for the yards. Over time, with the container stacked on top of them, the truck traffic, we start to get some damage at the edges of the trench drain. Here's a look at some of the damage we received. So we do go in and do maintenance type projects, kind of redo these trenches. Next slide. This is our Turning Basin terminal. That's one of our oldest facilities. Each terminal, we do have annual paving projects where we go in and repair, maybe potholes, damage to the wharves, damage to the yard. So this is an annual project per terminal. So this comes up every year. We try to do biannual. So we don't know if we will go back to that format, but for now, it's annual awards. And we actually have the Turning Basin terminal going into construction. I think it's scheduled to be awarded tomorrow, as a matter of fact. Next slide. As part of our maintenance work, we do annual fender maintenance also along with the pavement. So this is at our Bayport. Shows you the fender system, some of the items that we go in and routinely repair. And this is also an annual project. Next slide. This is our cranes and RTGs. We have annual projects that go in and we kind of repaint these so that we have the actual paint protection, coating protection. Since we are in a marine environment, we do face a lot of rust here. So we do have to go in and try to do everything we can to, take care of our assets. Next slide. This project is we've actually pulled this project. We're going to do it internally through our IT. Next slide. This is at our Barbers Cut facilities. We're actually putting in a ground mounted water tank to supply the terminal with fresh water. Right now, we're having issues with water pressure out in the area, so this is one of the solutions that we designed and will be implementing. Next slide. This is another pre-development site, clearing and grubbing, and preparation of tenant development. Next slide. Also part of our annual maintenance, we have security fencing that, normally gets damaged and needs repair. We do this on an annual basis also. Next slide. At our Turner Basin facilities, which I mentioned earlier, this is one of our oldest facilities. We have older wharfs, so this is a project to go in and kind of rebuild, repair, and rehab that particular wharf so we can increase the service life of the actual wharf. Next slide. Transit shed roof. These are older transit sheds with plenty of leaks. So what we do is we go in, kind of inspect the current roofs, and if there's a lot of damage, we go in and put a overlay roof on top of the existing roof, just for the added protection. And we pretty much the same thing with this project. This is just a different shed that we will do the re-roofing of. Next project. And here again, this is just another shed, same type of construction. Next. And that concludes everything. Now we do have handouts. This presentation of the up and coming projects are on our website, so you can go and pull. Welcome to give Brenda or myself a call and ask questions about it. You can check with procurement to see at what stage we are with the project. Has it been advertised? But that's just a general overview of the types of construction and design projects we do at the Port of Houston. Thank you, everyone, for letting me participate. If you have any questions, I'm here for discussion.
Okay, I will read the questions in the chat for you. And I'm not sure who will answer, but feel free to jump in. The first one is the 10-week course offered virtually as well?
No, it is a 10-week, once a week for in person. We have about 35 spots total, so we do encourage you to apply, and it will be held at the in the gallery area.
Okay. And for those who are interested, this PowerPoint presentation will be emailed to you sometime today after the webinar. And this one says, good morning, everyone. Let's make it a great day, okay? Oh, and she just provided her information without a question, so sorry. Okay, Fabian is with Reliant Business. He specializes in meter sets and with all permit hurdles to get temporary or permanent meter powered at any location in Texas. So how does he do business with you?
I don't know exactly who would take care of that area of our business in terms of, I guess, electricity is what I'm understanding. I can definitely find out and circle back.
Well, I can provide a little input, Al. There's two components. If we are doing port provided power for our internal use, then we do have a electrical department that kind of handles that. We have a good rapport with CenterPoint. As far as project related, any power requirements or new meter set, since we are still considered the owner, we usually have the GC kind of spearhead that with our input and work, and we provide payment to CenterPoint for that. Like I said, we have a good working relationship with CenterPoint, so we usually contact our point of contact and try to get all that resolved internally. Thank you.
Okay. This one says, attention primes, need help with compliance reporting and B2G now with your awarded projects. I believe he's offering his assistance. Certified Port SBE subcontractors. And provided their information, CVM Notary Service, doing business as CVM Business Solutions with their contact. So I think this is for the group. If you're having issues with the B2G software, their information is in the chat. Do you have a list of primes that work with the port? We're assuming that small businesses have to be pre-qualified with the primes to be part of the subcontracting program. So
Every prime has their own way of doing things. What we do encourage you is to get enrolled in our program if you are certified, because then you get listed in our directory. So when these primes are looking to build their teams, they can search and access our directory and find you that way. We encourage you to attend pre-proposals. When you attend these pre-proposals, there's a list that's published on who attended, so you can see who downloaded the packet, what primes are interested, and you'll have the contact information to be able to reach out to them and say if you can participate or that you're looking to be part of their team. So I encourage you to get enrolled. But again, each prime will have their own, I'm sure their own vetting process or their own way of pulling their teams together.
All right.
And just to add, sorry, go ahead.
No, please.
Just to add to that, and this is just a little tip that I can recommend. If you do that type of work that a prime will do, or if you're associated, let's say concrete, and you are a rebar installer, then I would, also you list that under your business NIGP code. That way, when the projects come out, you get notification, and like Brenda said, you can see who downloaded the actual package, and you can reach out to them directly.
Okay. That was a good tip. Thank you. This one is, where can you register to view and bid for upcoming projects with the port? I guess.
So once you register in BuySpeed, anybody who wants to do business with Port Houston has to be registered in BuySpeed as a vendor. And once you set up your profile, you will get notifications depending on what NIGP codes you list on your profile. You'll get a notification if a project comes out. Now, I encourage you to make it a habit and log on to our BuySpeed on the landing page. And I always say, make an appointment with yourself, put a date, 8 a.m. on Mondays. I check to see what new projects are out in Port Houston, because that you'll get notified for the projects that have the NIGP code you listed on your profile. But sometimes they'll pick a different NIGP code, but you can do that type of work. So on our landing page for BuySpeed, you will see open bids. And you will see upcoming also on our website. There's also a projected advertising schedule on that same page. And then also, if you are in our programs, in our business equity programs, we have, I think it goes out bi-weekly, an email blast with all of the open opportunities at Port Houston.
Okay, thank you. This is from a participant. I'm still trying to register with Port Houston system and am not able to. Receiving error message that the page cannot be reached. Is there a contact for technical assistance?
Sure. So we have if you're having issues with getting enrolled into our program or submitting the application, I would start with our certification generalist. Her name is Me. We'll drop in her contact information. But Me can help you through getting enrolled into our programs. And if you have any other questions, we can definitely get you to the right person. But I will start with our certification generalist.
Thank you, Brenda.
Mhm.
Is there any insurance requirements for these projects that small businesses should be aware of?
Yes, every single project has their own individual requirement, and that will be part of the solicitation packet. And I'm sure Harvey has some more nuggets for you.
Yes, each solicitation package that goes out, we have the general and special conditions. This is areas we do encourage everyone to read page by page, line by line. There's a lot of information in there, a lot of things that, are contractually with us. The insurance requirements are usually listed in the special conditions. Each project will carry specific insurance requirements.
Thank you. Okay, this one here, I apologize, my computer can't show the whole thing, so I might be choppy here. Questions over the authority having jurisdiction, AHH, for all the projects showed in this presentation. Besides the owner, who is the governing authority or regulating bodies for Port Houston?
With majority of our projects, if the project occurs within our industrial area, which is inside pretty much our fence, we are our own authority. We issue our own COs on projects. There are certain cases in municipalities, depending on the project and location, they may fall under a local jurisdiction. I know at our Barbers Cut facility, everything north of the Barbers Cut Boulevard either falls under the city of LaPorte or Morgan's Point. There are areas that falls under Seabrooks. It just depends on the type of project we have and the location of the actual work. We do, if we're doing any kind of building, we still follow national ADA requirements, and we do Texas accessibility. We still get approval through those areas. Certain components, elevators, still we follow national compliance with those. So there's, but majority, just all in all, majority of the permitting and responsibility, we're self-insured. So we kind of our own jurisdiction and regulate that.
Okay, thank you. Someone was asking, when is the next IT cohort?
So this next cohort that's running through May is construction focused. Our next cohort will be in the fall. We still don't know exactly with what direction we're going. At the end of each cohort, we kind of reevaluate, reset, and see what our needs are. So I would just keep checking back with us, possibly
Okay,
in the fall.
thank you. The next question is from a veteran-owned commercial company that does pressure washing, debris, waste removal, ground maintenance, and other services. They didn't see the NIGP codes in this webinar, but they wanted to know how to work with the court.
So if you want to reach out, we can set up a one-on-one and we can definitely talk about some of the resources you have on their website. But if you go to the BuySpeed landing page, you're going to find a lot of information on open bids and pre-proposals and meetings. And you can also look at some of the historical data of what type of procurements we have done in the past to see if your service or type of business is something that we procure.
And likewise, the next one is from a staffing firm who's certified, asking the same question, how to do business with the port.
Yes. So again, I would encourage you to really dig into those links that are on that landing page for BuySpeed, because there is historical data there. So we are a creature of habit. So like Harvey mentioned, we have some annual projects that go out, but you can look into some of our previous procurements to see, kind of keep an idea, and then also look at the projected advertising schedule, see what's in the pipeline, and register. Make sure you're checking back to see that when that opportunity is available, that you're ready to, jump on it.
And also, different departments will advertise for services, staffing agents. There may be a demand from our HR department. As far as the gentleman, as far as the person before asking about power washing and so on, we do have offer services that may put out, solicitations. They may be looking for RFPs for certain services. So everything honestly depends on that NIGP code. Brenda, I don't know if they have access to our cheat sheet we use just to see which coding they need to be under. But, if you're part of that code, when the solicitation package goes out, you should get automatic notification, hey, this project is being advertised. And that way you will be able to see. But it starts with registering with our e-procurement system and making sure you're coded correctly and so you can get those notifications.
Yes. And just to add to that, on our BuySpeed landing page, there is an NIGP NACE code crosswalk. If you're having trouble with your NIGP codes or your NACE codes, reach out to us and we'll guide you as best possible. But just I know I said it already, but I think it's really important. You need to really make it a habit to see, log in constantly and see what open bids are coming or what are coming, because you'll miss that opportunity if you don't have the right NIGP code, right? And sometimes there's multiple codes that could be used for the same type of work. So if you have a different one on your profile and it's going to go out with a different one, you might not get the notification personally. You can access it to see that it's there, but you might not get that email. So just make it a habit to log in and to really be in tune with what's in the pipeline.
Thank you. Next question. Does the port outsource program project management, or is that done in-house?
Majority of our project and construction management is done in-house. There may be rare events where we are doing something in conjunction with a project that we may do that. But usually if there's any outside, what we try to do is go through the engineer of record consultant and they will do their own. So, but majority of ours, that services is provided in-house.
Thank you. Okay, and I know we've answered this, but I just wanted to recognize all of our questions. Tabitha has a company that does drug and alcohol testing and fingerprint background. So she would also have to be in tune with BuySpeed, correct? To find those opportunities?
Yeah, BuySpeed is our e-procurement system. So anybody who wants to do business with the port will have to register as a vendor there. So whether you're certified, not certified, if you want to register as a vendor, we really encourage you. That's where you're going to see all the information.
And also, BuySpeed is for our formal and informal procurement. So everything is pretty much listed on there, everything we require service for.
Okay, and then for the sake of time, I'll skip over those individual ones. BuySpeed is your key to the port, so be proactive. But one person wanted to know their construction management service, and he's following up on the 10-week course requirements. He might have came in a little late on the requirements.
The requirements for Opportunity U?
Yeah.
Okay, so you have to be certified. You have to have been in business for at least 2 years. And I can drop in the link for our website where you can find the application. But it's a really short process, and really we're just wanting to make sure that you are in construction services, that you've been in business, that you have the ability to scale. And I'll drop in those requirements and the link on the chat.
Thank you. And for this one, she asked, is there a website for B2B to register and apply for certifications? And I know that the port does not do certifications, so you might want to tell them your reciprocity in place or
Yes.
agencies you recognize.
So B2G Now is our third-party website. You can also access it from our Port Houston site, and it is we are not a certifying agency, but we accept the certification from our certifying partners. I'll drop in the partners all of in the chat. And if you need assistance with B2G Now or getting enrolled, you can reach out to me. And there's also a technical assistance button for B2G Now if you're having trouble accessing there. You'll have to create a login. But if you are certified, you most likely already are somewhat familiar with B2G Now. But let me drop those into the chat box.
I appreciate that, Brenda.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, this question is, are your current awarded projects posted with the primes that were awarded the project? So is there an award place where you can see who was awarded the contracts?
Yeah, you can actually search previous awards and by speed. All this is public information, so I think everything's listed on BySpeed, who actually proposed, who was awarded the project. So, Brenda, do you know how to guide them through that? Or do they need to contact procurement for that?
The best is to contact procurement if you have a question about a certain award or if you're looking for some historical data.
Okay, then I just see a series of thank yous for dropping that information in here. Oh, and it did have one technical one for IT. Do you post RFPs or do you purchase through DIR? Do you use the DIR system?
We do have RFPs, but we also do have cooperative purchases, and DIR is one of them. So we do both, just depending on the solicitation that's coming out.
Okay. Okay, thank you. I didn't know that. I see. Yep. You dropped in the certifying participants. Thank you very much. Your procurement team phone number, B2G Now contact. And everybody is just saying thank you. I see no further questions. Do you have any questions for us?
No, I just want to say, we have a whole team here at Port Houston who's ready to support you. We are your biggest cheerleaders, but we really do need you to show up. We're pushing hard for these goals, and we're pushing hard to set these goals on these projects. And we need your help to meet these goals. We want to support you. So if you have any questions, just reach out.
Thank you.
Okay, thank you. Thank you so much. Thank you, Port Houston, for your time. This webinar was very informative. This was great. So please, attendees, reach out to the Port Houston. So I also wanted to thank all the attendees for joining us today. So have a great day. See you next time.